Good morning, good morning. I want to start this morning session with a question. Who are you without your struggles? Because we can become so attached to that pain and suffering that we're afraid to let go in case we lose ourselves. But what if holding on to everything that you've ever gone through is exactly what's preventing you from living in the present moment? Now, it's often said, and it's something I truly believe, that we're the sum total of all of our experiences. I really do believe that they shape us. They mold us into who we are today. And but what happens is that we can get so caught up in our past pain and so caught up in our suffering that we no longer see ourselves clearly. We become trapped in this vicious cycle of self-loathing and self-doubt, and then our struggles can become our identity. And then we no longer see a way out, and we stay stuck there. And we become so attached to our pain that we can no longer imagine a life without it, even though it's not really what we want. We seem to hold on to it. We allow our past to define our present life. And have you ever stopped and actually thought about that? I've been sick all day yesterday, so I've got this croaky voice, but I thought about this a lot yesterday. And I asked myself too, why did I keep myself stuck in my pain and suffering for so long and hold on to that past? Have you ever done that? Hold on to your past so ferociously, you almost defend it? You get attached to your struggles because maybe you don't know who you are without them. And what if it's because your struggles have become your identity, and letting go of them means you'll lose your identity, and then you fear of who am I then? So before I go any further, I want to say welcome to Morning Mindset. Excuse my voice, I've got this croaky body Tyler thing going on. This is our series on Make It Broken Beautiful and giving you the tools for living life by your design rather than just existing by default. And today's topic is about moving on from your past. So the question I just asked you right now, or just now, I know they're difficult questions to answer. And you may not know the answer. And maybe when I'm saying you're holding on to that and you're just not letting it go because you're identified with it, maybe that even made you a little bit frustrated or even angry. But I'm not powerful enough to make you feel anything. What I can do by what I'm saying is trigger something that's already present within you. And that may feel horrible, but there's a brilliant quote that says, your perception of me is a projection of you, and your reaction is an awareness of you. So, whatever I'm thinking about you is actually a projection of how I'm feeling about myself, because my reaction is an awareness of something that remains unconscious and unresolved. And I created a quote that says, where you're triggered, you're not free. So let me ask you where your past is keeping you stuck. Because I want you to know that holding on to your past, it doesn't serve you. It keeps you stuck there. It prevents you from moving forward. And it definitely puts the brakes on you achieving anything, especially your full potential. But instead, and this is why I wrote my book, Making Broken Beautiful, what if you can actually use that pain and suffering to actually break free instead of staying stuck? And I know it's difficult to move on and let go of the past because we seem to want everyone to suffer the way we did. But what if you step back from that? And because I believe our past makes us who we are. And by learning from it, we can use those experiences to motivate us and become stronger and more determined and even more resilient and build a better future. Because when you learn to let go of your struggles, you can finally start living in the present moment, and you can see yourself clearly, and you can create what you really want. And there's a few things you have to do with that. And one of those things is about forgiving yourself. And what do you mean? What does that mean? Forgiving ourselves means something different to everybody. And I actually have a friend who, when I asked that question, said, well, I don't feel like I have to forgive myself for anything other than maybe not getting on with it and whatever it may be. And they were feeling that they'd been held back by their family. And the only thing that they need to forgive themselves for that they thought was the regret that they felt that they didn't start doing things earlier, that they didn't just get on with it now. And they didn't get on with the guilt and the shame or the regret that's holding them back. And there's tons of ways of doing that. And you can journal that. And that's a great way to express your feelings and get through those emotions that you might be struggling with. Or, meditate. That's you can do that too. But I found exercise actually was one of the best ways to get rid of all of those emotions that are stuck. And work with a therapist, a coach or a mentor. But whatever you do to try and work out those feelings so you can move on with your past is to forgive yourself. Because it's an important step, whether it's forgiving yourself because of something you did or didn't do, or like my friend said, just not starting it earlier. It doesn't matter when you start this. I'm 60 years old and I didn't really start doing all this stuff until I was in my 50s. But it's important because if we want to live the life we want, we can't allow our past experiences to define our present moment. That won't get us anywhere. So wherever you're tuning in from, say hi and let me know your thoughts on this too, because I love that interaction. I love answering your questions, and we'll be doing the questions on YouTube at the end. But basically, I want you to understand that learning to let go of the past and focusing on the present allows you to move forward. Because I know, and again, that's why, like I said, I created Making Broken Beautiful, because that shows you how you can use your past experiences to motivate you to become more determined, and more resilient. And it doesn't matter how many times you have to reset. You just keep resetting every time. Do it right once, get it wrong, do it right, get it wrong. It doesn't matter, right? Break through those mental barriers and that negative programming that's keeping you stuck, so that you can live life the way that you actually want it. So I know it's a big saying, live life on my terms, and it means something different to everybody. But for me, it means about living in the present, like focusing on what I want to achieve and not letting anything or anybody hold me back. And I've created 5 tips for you to be able to let go of your past so that you can move on. And hopefully they'll help you get started. And the first one is to acknowledge your past experiences. Right? It's important to understand and recognize your past and how it's affected you and impacted you. And then, like I said, the other one is to forgive yourself, because it really is key to moving on, to let go of any guilt or shame that you may be feeling, or whatever it is you're feeling that I know as a young girl, I felt maybe I deserved all the stuff that happened to me because of where I came from. Now, and then, I had a lot of shame around that. So I had to forgive myself for being ashamed of myself, because I had nothing to be ashamed of. So think about, if you do have to forgive yourself for something, what would it be? And then I want you to focus on the present, okay? Acknowledge, like I say, that you had a past, that it had this impact on you, and now you've forgiven yourself for allowing that to impact you, and maybe it made you into a different person with the people around you. I know my past made me really insecure. It made me hold on to things that I didn't really want to hold on to for way too long. And I had to forgive myself for using the people around me as my security blankets, because, that's just where I was. When I started thinking about all those things and I wrote down all my behaviors and how I behave and why I behave the way I do, I was able to think about where that comes from and how I could change that. And that's my next step, and that's taking action, right? Taking action means looking at all your behaviors and then making positive changes in your life so that you can move towards your goals. And it doesn't matter how many times you fail or how many times you fall down and get it wrong, like I said already. It's being patient, because letting go of your past takes time. And things don't just change overnight. So you've been that way that you are for so long. And when you start making changes, everybody around you that has loved you being who you are, needs you to be who you are and who you have been, they won't like it. And they'll put up resistance, and they'll tell you that you're not thinking straight, and their opinions will get into your head. And that's when things can start going wrong, because you end up if you listen too much to these people, you start living their life and not yours. And we're all guilty of doing that at some point. So that's my message for today. And I want to wrap this up by saying, let go of your past. Okay? Start living right now by focusing on the goals that you want. Focus on where you want to go. And reset as many times as you need to without letting anything hold you back. Because you get one life, and one life only. And if you don't let go of your past and you're holding on to that, and that's driving your present moment, you're going to regret that. So that's it for me today. It's short because I've got my voice thing going on, and I will be meeting you some terms. And I love this, a little bit of a behind the scenes with my team, and I'd love to share with you, and I'd love to hear your comments. So as always, thank you for being here. I always am super grateful and appreciate your time. And if you found this helpful, I would love you to share these mini teachings with people that you know will benefit. And if you want to keep up to date with my latest trainings, be sure to join my online community and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So my greatest wish for you is for you to be Mindfit, to live your best life and live it with passion. Reset, be authentic, and be you. But I think oh, unless you're going to stay and wait for the comments. I got to wait for them to come up. It's really funny. I've got a camera here and a camera up there and a camera over there. I never know what you have to look at. So I'll turn my volume up and we'll see where these comments are. So thank you for joining us. I don't know if anyone waved to me on Instagram, and I might be able to wave to you back. And there. And here we are. Good morning. It says High Tech Mother from YouTube. Good morning, Coach Pam. I love that, High Tech Mother. And August, thank you for joining us, because the pain has become a part of our routine in life, that it becomes normal for us until we realize there's more to our life than our pain. We absolutely do. We identify with that pain, August. We think it's who we are. We don't realize it's just something that's happened and that we've become used to, as you say. Parker, thank you for joining us from LinkedIn. Says, as a fully recovered ex-addict, it took me a long time to move beyond my past. I held on to it because I kept fearing that I will go back to my old ways. Instead of walking away, I kept fearing it so much that I kept focusing on it with all my strength until my mentor coached me to look forward to the future instead of my past. And I am so proud of you, Parker, to have made that journey and stayed with it, because trust me, I know exactly how challenging and how difficult that journey can be. And you do slip back, but it's just keep going, keep focusing on where you want to go and what you want to do, because we're not our past, right? Thank you, High Tech Mother again says, because people who hurt us are usually the closest people, and they keep reminding us of the hurt. They do, but you know, High Tech Mother, I know that hurt people hurt other people, and that doesn't make it right. It just means when you can understand why they're doing what they're doing, you can stop making it personal. You can stop thinking it's about you, because it isn't. Whatever everyone does to us isn't about us, it's about them. So thank you for sharing that. High Tech Mother says, yes, I love my long walks. Me too, I walk 5 to 10K every day. They clear my head and move forward. Me too, I do all my best thinking when I'm out walking, especially when I'm on the beach. High Tech Mother also says, hurt people can heal people. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, they can, for sure, because you realize why they're doing what they're doing, and you can try and understand how that is affecting you. Fitness sure helps think clearly. Yes, it does, Parker. I'm out every single day. I do something. And Parker also says, forgiving yourself is the hardest, most important step indeed. It is. I agree, 100%. Parker, I hope you're better soon. Yeah. I've got this really funny voice. I'm sure it probably sounds weird. August says, get well too, matey. Thank you, August. Thank you. High Tech Mother says, keeping you in my thoughts. Thank you, High Tech Mother. Thank you. And I think that might be us for today. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are, and I will see you Wednesday. Now I feel like I never know how to turn this off.